Hi, my name is Carol Jimenez. My lesson plan is called The Life Cycle of a Plant. It is based on Chapter 24, Guiding Science and Technology Experiences. And today I'm going to be using gardening to teach science concepts. The objectives at the end of this lesson plan will be that children will understand the life cycle of how a plant grows. They will know the three basic needs for a seed to sprout, which are water, soil, and sun. Now, this lesson plan targets children who are about 4 years old because at this age, children are able to follow directions in a 3-step command. They begin to have an understanding of the world through observation and sensory play, which is what you will see in just a moment in our later activity. It's also a great way for children to use their fine motor skills, their gross motor skills, they're using their language skills, they're building their cognitive development. Okay, first material you will be needing are these 6 colorful laminated sheets. It says, I plant a seed in the ground. My seed needs water and sun. I see a sprout. Can you see roots? And of course, a flower blooms. You will also be needing a couple of copies for each child. Now we have right here, it's the exact same ones, but not colored, not colorful. This is great for them to use their crayons, markers, and they can go ahead and decorate it. And that way they are able to take it home so they can share with their loved ones and they can write their name right here. So this is great for language, cognitive skills, so they can start recognizing letters and words. You will also need the book called A Seed Grows by Antoinette Portis. I will provide it right here for you, a picture, and I will also provide the audio book for you. You will also be needing this worksheet right here for each child. This activity worksheet is for the child to cut out these 4 squares, and they will have to paste them in the correct sequence 1 through 4 of the life cycle of the plant. So again, this is great for their motor skills, fine motor skills. They will be using scissors, which I will also be observing that the child can properly hold the scissors in their fingers and their hands, and that they're able to cut on the guided line right here. They're able to use the glue stick and paste them in the sequence which it goes. Some other materials that we need for each child: age appropriate and safety scissors for each single child, glue sticks. We need a couple of Sharpies so that we're able to write their names and which seed they choose to plant on these wooden craft sticks, and we're going to put those inside the little plant with their names. We will also be needing some gloves just in case some children who are a little bit more on the sensory challenge, they might not want to get their hands in soil, and that's completely okay. We can provide them with gloves. We can also provide them with a little scooper if they don't want to touch the soil. And then, of course, different kinds of seeds. I chose mint. You will also be needing the paper cups and a plate, paper napkins, in case of a spill, and obviously the potting soil, which I have outside ready for when we start the activity. And now I picture this lesson plan on a nice spring sunny day. We can do this lesson plan indoor or outdoor. I will be doing it outdoor since it's such a nice day today, but we can start off greeting the class. Good morning, class. Today we have planned a very fun day. We are going to be gardening. We are going to be planting some seeds so that you guys can take home. You can ask open-ended questions like, for example, does anyone know how a plant grows? And they can raise their hands. Yes. And then what are some things that we need for it to grow? And give them some time to answer. We can also say, okay, so let's all sit down so we can listen to what a fun story has to say about how a plant grows. We need to activate our listening ears so we can go ahead and pay attention to the story. And this is where I would introduce the book.
Seed Grows by Antoinette Portis. A seed falls and settles into the soil.
And the sun shines.
And the rain comes down. And the seed sprouts. And the plant grows.
All right, class. So wasn't that such a great book? You can tell me what their favorite part was. Yes, Ezra, go ahead. Yes, that was my favorite part as well. And how about Emma? Yes, great observation, Emma. The seed does need water, rain, and sunlight, right? Good job, yeah. Okay, class, let's listen to a quick song so we can learn a little bit more about how a plant grows before we go ahead and start our fun activity.
Little seed on the ground, buried underneath the soil, needs a little bit of rain and a little bit of sun to grow. It'll grow roots and a stem, then leaves, and it'll get taller. Then one day, little seed will be a flower.
For assessment and observation strategies, I will assess each child by checklist. I will be making sure that the 4-year-olds can cut lines. I'm following relatively close to the drawn line that's already there. I will also be observing that they can use the glue stick properly with little to no help from an adult. Can the child arrange the steps of the life cycle of a plant in sequence from first, second, third, and fourth? So are they able to recognize those numbers? And I will also ask them what they see and feel as they are putting the soil inside of their cups and planting their little seeds. Adaptations and modifications for diverse learning needs. For children with fine and gross motor challenges, they can use Velcro attached to the activity worksheet instead of scissors and glue stick. So for example, this one, instead of having the children use scissors and the glue to cut them out and paste them, we can have Velcro attached to the back of each one of these and right here. And they can go ahead and just stick on top the sequence of which the flower grows, right? For children with texture sensitivity, we can offer the gloves if they don't want to put their hands inside the soil. We can also offer a sensory walk. Sensory walk might involve going outside, listening to the birds, touching different surfaces like tree bark, touching and smelling flowers, leaves. We can verbally let them know, right, the plant life cycle instead of them, doing the worksheets. We can just tell them verbally what plant is. And then for children with language barriers, we can have obviously the worksheets printed in their native language. Hard hearing, we can show this YouTube video that I will provide at the end of, it demonstrates how the plant grows in ASL. Our outside activity, I will be having Melody demonstrate for us. So first step would be to give each child the paper cup, and I'm gonna have Melody grab some soil and fill it almost to the top. Go ahead, fill it. Next, I will have Melody poke a small hole right in the middle so we can go ahead and put the seeds in there. These are very tiny, so go ahead and be careful and place them in. Okay, Melody, and grab a little bit of more soil just to cover the top. Okay, now we're gonna add a little bit of water. Okay, what type of plant it is and who does it belong to. So that's Mint, and that's for Miss Carol. And for conclusion, some key points I want to mention. Children are learning that gardening is such a fun way to learn about science. We also have the modification. We want to make sure that we include everyone in this lesson plan and the activities so that everyone can have an enjoyable time. And I feel like this lesson plan is very great, very fun. It's interactive, it catches their attention, and what more for the children to go home and show their parents, their loved ones, their caregivers what they learned today and show them their little plant. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great day.